Hello and welcome to Posh with Terry Ford. Today we're going to talk about soap. Soap is something we all use. And if you're like I used to be, you go and you find a soap that works and you find the one that you're getting the most soap for your money. So you're probably looking at one of the ones that's the least expensive. So for a long time, I used a particular brand. I'm not going to tell you which brand because it kind of changed, but same one for a long time. And what I found was that I didn't feel clean when I got finished with my shower. It just never felt like I rinsed completely off, and it just didn't feel right. So I started using body wash, and it was a little better, but still not great. So fast forward to when I started using Posh soaps. And I'm a skeptic. I didn't expect anything to be any different from any other soap, but I happened to like the way one of them smelled when somebody handed it to me. So I thought, okay, fine, I'll use that for a while. So I started using it, and I realized almost immediately that it rinsed off clean, and I didn't feel like I still had soap residue on me, which I thought was really interesting. So I gave one to my husband, and I mean, he's even more of a whatever works, soap is soap. It's not going to make any difference. So he used the bar of soap that I gave him, and he said, I kind of like this. This is kind of nice. I feel really good when I get done. And then he went back to his old soap because there were still some in the drawer. Got to use those up. Got halfway through that one and came out of the bathroom one day and he said, "Can I have another bar of soap?" I said, "You have soap." He said, No, one of yours. So that's the only thing he's used since then, is any one of the Posh soaps that I hand him. That's the one he's happy with at that time. So why? Why are they different? Well, there's no tallow in our soaps. Animal fat. There's no animal fat. So you're not rubbing any kind of fat on your body, so it rinses off clean. There are also no sulfates. Any lathering comes from the natural oils that are used, or the natural other ingredients that are used in the soap that help it to lather, rather than relying on relying on sulfates. So it's gentle. It's good for anybody in the family, children, adults. I have one that is also really good for the dog, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So I want to talk to you about the soaps that we currently have. And you can see they're fairly good sized soaps. We call them chunks because it's a fairly good sized soap. So if you have small hands, this is just a little aside. If you have small hands and you get one of our soaps, one of the regular soaps, not the So Soapy, not the Snarky, just a regular soap. If you want to cut it in half or cut it in smaller pieces, you can put it in the microwave on a plate for 10 seconds. Turn it over, do another 10 seconds, and then just take a sharp knife and you can slice the soap up any way you want to. Don't do it for more than 10 seconds because it will melt. You don't want it to melt. You just want to make it a little bit softer. So just a word to the wise. So we currently have one that is called How About Them Apples. Okay, this one is Australian pink clay, which pulls in clay in any of ours that have clay in them. That pulls out impurities and gives you a deeper clean. So if it has clay in it, it's going to do that for you. This one also has apple juice, and that apple juice is one that tones and conditions and helps your skin, and vinegar, and that helps to keep your pores clean. And it has a nice bright apple scent. So there's that one. This is another of our newer ones. This is called Coconuts About You, and I can see some of you making faces. Okay, so because I know coconut is one of those hot topics. Some people love the smell of coconut. Some people hate the smell of coconut. I get it. What I find interesting about this one, now I love the smell of coconut. I think it smells good. This does not smell like that sweet, fakey coconut scent that you get in a lot of things. It's really more of the natural coconut from inside the actual coconut nut. Okay, so it's not overpowering, and a lot of people that I've talked to that don't like coconut love this soap. So don't automatically discount it just because it's coconut. So this one has coconut derived cleansers that cleanse your skin, and it has no palm in it. So, and it has an extra frothy lather. This one really lathers nicely. So that's really good. And this says, hadn't ever noticed this, perfect for shaving or everyday cleansing. I'm gonna have to try that. Try that one on my legs when I'm shaving the next time. Anyway, that one I particularly care for. And it says that it's scented with a creamy, summery coconut, but like I said, it's not an overpowering coconut, and it's not that fakey coconut that so many people dislike. Okay, so next, and this is one of our most popular ones, this is Jungle Juice. This is a pineapple and tangerine cocktail. Okay, it's pineapple, tangerine. It's really pretty nice. One of the ones that I happen to like quite a lot. It softens your skin because it has double the moisture infusing glycerin. It brightens with those fruit extracts that are being used both to scent it and to help make it into a cleanser. Okay, and it is just like the rest of it, and it says this specifically on here, tallow free. Okay, so that's a very popular one. And you notice that all of these, well, I notice that all of them are very gender neutral. I mean, the apple one, maybe not, but I mean, men like apples too. So most of them are fairly gender neutral as far as the scents are concerned. Okay, so then we have Stone Cold Crazy. All right, funny story about this one. Well, maybe not funny, interesting story about this one. This is the exact same soap that used to be called Hunk Chunk. Not the original Hunk Chunk, the second generation Hunk Chunk, for those of you that have been around a while. Apparently Hunk Chunk was offensive to some people, and so Posh decided to come up with a new name for it. So Stone Cold Crazy. I don't know. Anyway, same soap. This one I gave to my husband because it was, touted as one of our men's products since it was originally called Hunk Chunk. And I found myself reaching over and grabbing this soap to use for myself because I so love the scent of this one. It's a mint, but not minty mint. I don't know how to say this right. That's what it says. It says here that it's crisp mint, bergamot, and sea salt. So it's a very fresh scent to me. So I like this one a lot. So this one, let me just tell you what's in it. It's shea butter, lava, and that exfoliates. And then it says that it's helpful to remove that extra stubborn dirt and grime. So that one is I like this one a lot. It's not recommended for use on your face. Most of these are not. We have facial products too. Most of these are not really recommended for the face. Okay, so then we come to Gender Bender. Gender Bender is a magic soap. That's what I call it. It's the magic soap. So it's charcoal and shea butter. It's a wonderful, just all over, all-purpose soap. It's good for the entire family, and this is the one that's also good for the stinky dog. I have used it on my dog. It really does work well as a dog shampoo. It's a charcoal clean scented with woodsy amber and soft citrus. So I really don't get citrus out of it, but I think the citrus probably balances that woodsy scent, and it's really a very nice scent. But here are some fun things about this. You can get Sharpie off of your skin without scrubbing. Hair dye, paint, all those things that we tend to get on ourselves when we're doing other projects come off easily with this soap. So Sharpie, that just sounds kind of weird, but I'm sure some of you have small children. They tend to get into markers and they write on themselves. So there's that. I teach middle school. Middle schoolers are worse than toddlers about writing on themselves, particularly with Sharpies, because they just think that's fun. This takes it off easily. Those of you that have swimmers, meaning swim team, competitive swimmers, for some reason at swim meets, they write on your children with Sharpie. And I'm not sure what it is they're writing. I asked one of my kids about it one time because he had writing all over his arm, and he said, oh, that was from my swim meet. So this will take it off easily without scrubbing and without having to use a bunch of other products in addition to soap. I have used it to get dried blood out of clothes. I have used it to get dirt stains out of clothes. A fellow consultant has a daughter who plays softball. White pants, red Georgia clay. This takes it out. And any of you that have ever dealt with red Georgia clay on clothing, you know how hard that is. This works. What else have I used it for? Oh, I got an old wine stain mostly out of a piece of carpet. I can't think what else. There are a lot of uses for it. So I actually keep one of these in my laundry room. So it's a good soap to keep in your shower. It's also a good soap to keep in your laundry room, at your kitchen sink, wherever you're going to need it for those types of things. Okay, so those are all of the regular chunks that are currently in our catalog. So then we have two other types of soaps. One of them is called the So Soapy. Now this is Brazilian Bombshell So Soapy. So this is scented with toasted Brazil nut, coconut cream, and vanilla. And it's really very nice. It's one of our very popular scents. And the way that this is different from the chunks is that it is, let me just read this to you. It says to lather up with 4 kinds of milky and luxurious coconut for extra pampered, smoother, softer, and more nourished skin. It really is more lathery than our other soaps are, and it has more scent than our other soaps do. So they've actually infused this with extra scent. So there's that. And then the other type of soap that we have is called a Snarky Bar. So this one is not an all-purpose, use it all the time soap. The purpose of our Snarky Bar is exfoliation for those stubborn, dry areas where you just need to get all that icky skin off so that you can then smooth it out with some lotion or body cream of some kind. So this is the Snarky Bar. This particular one is scented with raspberry, strawberry, and spun sugar. And it really does smell really nice and fruity. It's a very nice scent. So this one is used for exfoliating. It's really good for knees, elbows, feet, any place that you've got extra dry skin that you need to exfoliate so that you can smooth yourself out. So those are the soaps that we currently have. I hope that you will try one, or maybe you already use them and maybe that will have you try a new one. So if you have any questions, you can always, I believe you can comment on these videos. I'm not really sure. I should probably find that out. So I believe that there's a place to comment on them. So if you have comments, please let me know. Have a fabulous day.